Hey everybody, I'd like to welcome everybody to my virtual art show. So today, what we're going to talk about is uh, my bio, tell you a little bit about myself. Uh, I'm going to tell you about some of my accomplishments. Um, Also, we will learn about some of the mediums that I use when I do my art, and also uh, we're gonna go look at some art. That's what we're gonna do. So let me start out by just telling you a little bit about myself. So my name's Daryl Tucker. A lot of people call me Tuck. Um I am 48 years old. Um I'm married to Jennifer Tucker. We have four kids. Sydney Tucker, who is 24. Daryl Jr., who is 21. Um, Dominique, who is 20, and Danielle, who is 20. So they're twins. Um, our last three kids, they all have autism, but that's a totally different story. That's a whole story on its own. But um, so um, let me see. Let me tell you a little bit about my art background. I'm a local artist here in Louisville, born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. Um, I have been drawing all my life, from elementary school on up. Uh, Painting was something that I didn't care for. I was always scared to mess up. I guess I got introduced to paint in middle school, uh, watercolors and uh, just some like liquid acrylics. Uh, and when I painted, it was it was pretty simple. It's like if something was brown, it was brown. If something was green, it was green. There was no blending. Uh, I didn't really learn that. Um, so after I got out of high school, I went to U of L and I was majoring in art. And I had an art teacher by the name of Mark Priest. He was a very passionate art teacher, and he would his critiques was on point. He didn't let he didn't hold back, so that helped me uh, uh, trying to uh, get what I need out of my art. So um, he taught me how to do charcoal, how to use charcoal, compressed charcoal. Um, he taught you how to get the darkness of your drawing, your picture that you're looking at, uh, to your very lights. So the way you get your lights is your eraser and how much you erase. So it's so many different shades in your objects that you're looking at, and you can get soft, make them look soft. You can make them look hard, however you want to do. But anyway, he taught me all of that, and um, I had started making uh, money by drawing people's family members, uh, portraits, whatever they wanted. I was drawing them, but I was letting them go for little to nothing, probably $20 a drawing that I was doing, and then I just got burnt out on it because I did a whole lot of them, and I never went up on price. So, um, and also I had to work more, and I didn't have the time I wanted to do the drawings and work. Uh, so, in the midst of that, I was working, and then uh, one day, me and my wife went to Sip and Paint, and I noticed that I could paint better than I used to. I seen my blending. I was blending, and it was looking. I seen potential, and I said, okay, I'm liking what I'm doing. So I started doing it more at home, and and then I just noticed myself getting better and better and better. So the more I worked with it, the more I was, improving. I was using what I found out is that I was using what I learned with the charcoal from Mark Priest, my professor, on bringing in the darknesses and the lightnesses with the paint. You can do the same thing with the paint as I was doing with the charcoal, but you're using color. So I was doing that, and uh, like I said, I just noticed myself getting better and better, and so I started doing little shows, our little festivals, going to different festivals and setting up booths and vending and stuff like that. And people was really liking what I was doing, and that uh, in itself, it helped motivate me to keep on doing what I was doing. I During the pandemic, once COVID came, I had started looking at different artists and what they do. And this one artist, she would paint, and then she would take her fingers and she would smear or blend her colors together. And I found it interesting how she was using her hands instead of just using the brush. So I wanted to give it a shot, and uh, I started drawing with my fingers and blending and all that, and I seen that I picked up on that pretty good. So I never, if I was doing something with my fingers, I never used the brush on that whole painting. So I started finger painting, y'all. Finger painting. My first finger painting, it wasn't nothing like it is now, but I seen a lot of potential in it, and I felt good doing it. The reason I felt good doing it is because you don't have to be so uh, precise. You don't have to be. You're not brushed to canvas. Your hands to canvas, and it can be more abstract than more tight. I don't know if that makes any sense. So it's like I was kind of molding my painting with my hand, uh, touching the canvas. So something about that sensory of touch, that makes it, that just makes me feel more passionate about what I'm doing. So anyway, um, that's something that I picked up on. So now finger painting is my passion, and I'd rather do that than with the brush right now. Uh, what else? So I also work at Humana. So right now, Humana is my full-time job, and I um, I am a well-being consultant there, and I think of different things to do with the associates to keep them engaged. And one of the things I wanted to do is bring painting with tuck. So painting with tuck is it's the same as a paint and sip, but of course you don't sip at work. But I brought that to work during the pandemic, because most of everybody is working at home now, so we do it virtually. Uh, I get over 200 to 300 associates to join every other month uh, for this, because it's like an art therapy for them. It's a break away from all the work that they have to do, and it relieves their stress, and then they get back on and get their work done. But they really enjoy it. Paint with Tuck. I don't only do it there. I do it uh, around Louisville also. Uh, it's fun for everybody, from the kids on up to the adults. Um, what else? So, inspirations, people that inspire me is artists now. Is Ernie Barnes. Ernie Barnes, he was the artist that did the Sugar Shack. If you're familiar with the Sugar Shack or if you're familiar with Good Times, the show that used to come on with JJ Dynamite, uh, there was a painting on there that was done by Ernie Barnes, but it was, you would think JJ did it, but it was Ernie Barnes, and it was called the Sugar Shack, and it's like people dancing in the nightclub, um, like in an old nightclub or whatever. A bunch of people on the dance floor, the light shining down on them, little jazz people playing their little saxophones and stuff like that. That's what that was. But anyway, the way he painted was his like the people that he painted, their arms were like their limbs was extra long. It's longer than the normal proportions, and the movement in his paintings were just so fluent. And I just love the just how he painted. So that's something that inspired me as far as painting goes and art goes. And it's another artist by the name of Amoko Bofo. He's a finger painter, and I haven't met many finger painters, um, especially here in Louisville. But just looking around on the internet, uh, I stay on Instagram to see who all's doing what, and I don't see finger painting really going out there, big. But Moko Bofo, he's a finger painter, and he does a lot of African American folks, and his skin. He does. You can see the how he leaves his finger marks through the skin with the paint that he uses, and that's something that I've been playing around with mine also. I mean, it's something new that I've been playing around with, and I'll show you all as we walk around, and I'll show you my art. But he's another guy that inspires me. Um, some accomplishments that I've done. If you live in Louisville, you would know what a Gallapalooza is. Um, we have these statue horses that companies have in front of their buildings, uh, that are done by artists, our local artists. So the company, someone from the company would talk to the artist, and they would decide what goes on the horses, and they would pick an artist to do it. So I happened to get picked to do um, two horses. So the first horse I did was at the Omni Hotel here in Louisville, and the Omni wanted um, just something that shows how they are. They're very welcoming. So uh, I showed all the values that the Omni has, and as you go in the Omni, and uh, I put that on there. I finger painted their horse, and they liked it. And like I say, it's in front of the Omni Hotel if you want to check it out here in Louisville. Um Also, Louisville Tourism is another horse that I did. It was They wanted a black jockey, and the black jockey I did was the first black jockey, which is Oliver Lewis. Um, I finger painted him on the horse, and I also uh, finger painted the race after he won on the horse, and it got paraded around Louisville during Derby time. That was pretty cool. Um, so that's one accomplishment I've had. I had my work in different galleries, the Mormon Gallery here in Louisville, Kentucky. Um, I had three pieces sell out of there. I have about six other pieces in there. Um, I also have worked in the Gateway well, I had a solo show at the Gateway um, Regional Arts Center, um, and that's in Mount Sterling, Kentucky. Um, and I just had all different finger painting pieces, um, maybe about 15 pieces that I had hang in there for about a month, and it was a nice experience. Team Kentucky Gallery, that was where the governor Andy Brashear um, they've picked artists to come and do a exhibit in the governor's mansion, and I was one of the artists to be able to hang a piece that I did in there. It was a derby piece. I do a lot of derby pieces, and I'll show you uh, maybe one or two that I have here. Uh, what else? Bourbon with Heart. So Bourbon with Heart is a nonprofit organization that is trying to uh, bring together bourbon and art. Uh, and um, they had something for the artists to do to where you paint on a barrel, um, on a whiskey barrel. And so I finger painted on a whiskey barrel, a derby theme, and Humana ended up sponsoring it, and and they brought it into the corporate building for Humana for display. That was pretty cool, being that I work at Humana. um, Another couple of things is feet of autism. Like I said, I have 3 kids. I think I said it. I got 3 kids with autism, so my last 3 kids have autism. Not sure if I said that when I was saying that I had 4 kids. So, uh, last 3 kids have autism, um, and so for the feet of autism and for Dreams with Wings, they're both um, for kids with special needs. Not kids, for really adults with special needs, assisting them. They had a charity gala, and they asked me to do a live auction of one of my paintings. So I did a live finger painting for the attendees there at the charity. And for the Feet of Louisville one, I when I got done, um, they called me up to the front and they started auctioning it off. I think it started about $500, and it was going up and going up, and then it got to $3,000. Then 2 people raised their hand, and then it got to $3,200, and then this one guy raised his hand. So the guy that raised his hand, he ended up getting it for $3,200, and then the lady that wanted it for $3,000, the auctioneer turned around to me and asked me if could I get another one together for $3,000. I said I happen to have one in my van, um, if she wants it, and I showed it to her and she loved it. So I ended up making $6,200 to go to the Feet of Autism charity. So that was awesome. Um, when I was cleaning up, the guy that bought the piece for $3,200, he said, he introduced himself. He said, "Hey, my name's Wes Henderson, and I bought your piece for that you did live." I said, "Oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate it." He said, "Have you ever been to the castle?" I said, I'm like, "I don't know. Castle. The only castle I knew of is when you're going to Lexington, if you're familiar with Kentucky or Louisville. When you're going to Lexington, it's this castle to the to the left, big castle to the left that you pass." He said that's the one. He said that he owned it. I said, "Oh, really?" And then he asked me if I heard of Angel's Envy. I said, "Yeah, I heard of Angel's Envy, which is
uh, a bourbon. I think it's a bourbon, but you know it's a liquor. And he said, I own that too. I was like, oh, okay. So that was really cool to be able to meet, you know, someone like him and him buy my piece for they got auctioned off. That was really cool. So anyway, so that's some accomplishments that I've had. Um, Now, as far as the mediums I use, so I use pencil, uh, I use charcoal, compressed charcoal. I use watercolors. I use acrylic paint. I also use oil paint. Um, the the acrylic paint and the oil paint is what I use the finger paint with. I just started finger painting with the oil paint. Acrylic paint, what you're about to see is a lot of acrylic paint, but I do have some oil, and I'll show you that too. So, all right, let's take a look at what's going on around this house. So, you all are in my house, so this is where my art show is happening. We're gonna start out with this one. I did this piece, bourbon and cigar piece. This was done in 2017, actually. Um, this is back when I was experimenting with double canvases. If you can see, this is a canvas and this is a canvas. So it's two canvases glued onto each other. So the reason I did the double canvas is to stack it to make this glass pop. Okay. I couldn't really give you a size on this. I want to say it's about a 24 by 28, something like that. But it's going for $800, y'all. It's my $800 original piece. I'm gonna show you some of this stuff. Some of this stuff not selling. It's just in my house because I like it myself. So I don't want to sell it and give it away. So right here is it's a 30 by 40. This is an oil painting and it's an abstract painting. So what this is my abstracts are paintings of women's figures is what it is. So um, it has to make sense to me for me to feel finished. So what this is hair flowing down, and this is her back arched out, and this is her behind. This is her shoulder, and this is her breast. Okay, so it's her back and her behind sticking out, and her chest facing the other way. So that's what that is. Abstract piece, and that was done with brush. It was probably done back in. It might have been done back in like 22-ish. So this one here is a 4 foot by 5 foot piece. Um, this is a memory piece. So I used to do a lot of memory. Well, I'm starting to do a lot of memory pieces from when I was young on up to college days. But this is college days. Uh, Dominoes. We used to play dominoes. We play spades. We go over someone's house, and they have just a little get together, a little party. So that's what this is. So this is us out here playing dominoes. Let me see if I can do this and point at the same time. So this is the red Solo cups. Y'all know what that is and what holds them. Might have a little liquor in there. And got some Pepsi out here. Got cigar. Got a little cigar going. I call this 15. We call it 15 because you gotta have multiples of fives to get points. And you always hear somebody slam a domino down and say 15. Um, but yeah, so and in the background, you always got somebody knocked out, probably about to drop his hat. He had one too many Solo cups. One too many Solo cups. So now here's another piece that I did. It's not for sale either. It's another abstract piece, and it's a um, figure of a woman again, and I pointed out. So we have the shoulder and the arm, elbow, wrist area. This is her back, arch back, and that's the behind. And then it goes up to her leg. This is her knee, and then it goes down to her foot. So it's like her arm is holding her leg, and this is her breast area. All right, so that's what that is. Another one that's not for sale, and then there's my bathroom. I'm taking y'all in my bathroom, y'all. So it's another piece. Same thing, female figure. So we got the shoulder coming down, elbows down here, and the hand goes up. So it's like she's holding her other shoulder like that. This is her thigh and her knee. Okay. And this is her other knee going behind her leg. So she's just sitting up, kind of just holding herself. That's what that is. And then I had to do some pictures to fill up the walls. That's my daughters. That's Sydney and Danielle. Sydney's her with the big hair. Danielle's the other. That's my wife, Jennifer. And that's me up there. Just wanted to fill up some of this wall space. Here's my boys. Daryl Jr. and Dominique. Okay. So this right here, and of course they're not for sale either. This right here these are limited editions, all right? Because they have already sold. The originals have already sold. So this is a canvas print. This is a canvas print of my bourbon and cigar. But the reason it's a limited edition is because I put paint, I finger painted paint over it in different areas to bring it out, make it pop a little more. So it's a 1 of 50 limited edition. I've sold 2 of these already. This is a 30 by 40, and it's $500. And that's a top seller, really, really and truly. That's a top seller in my paper prints, for sure. And this used to be a top seller, but I made that. So, but this lion, and something about them colors, I think it really, them colors really pop, and people really like them. But that's a 24 by 30 inch canvas print, limited edition, and that one's $400. Okay, let us move on. So we're going into my living room, and right here is a 4 foot by 5 foot canvas original of I call it Churchill Downs. This piece goes for $5,000. Okay, you can see the audience, the fans in the background, the audience in the background. It's all fingerprints, different colors, different color fingerprints, and you can feel the texture of the paint coming off of the different areas, just because the finger painting that I did throughout the whole thing. But this is called Churchill Downs. Okay, and that's 4 foot by 5 foot, and that's going for $5,000. All right, this is my Jordan 1s. Jordan 1s. This is more for the kind of the new school folks, cause they love some Jordans. And then I just got all different colors. and that's a 4 foot by 5 foot again, and that's going for 4,000. All right, over here, this is another memory painting. This is back when I was, I don't know, let's say 10 to 13. We would play hide and go seek. How many of y'all played hide and go seek? We would play hide and go seek, and we'd be counting on this pole right here on the street light. You can't see it well because light is shining right here, but I got rays of light coming down. That's why he's highlighted with white, because the light's shining on him. And I got people hiding, the kids hiding. He's counting to 20 or 25 or whatever. Somebody's hiding behind the bush in front of the house. And then I got, this is a Cadillac. This is an old Cadillac right here. Then I got somebody hiding beside the Cadillac on the other side. Somebody hiding by the door. Back in the back here, it's just the driveway that goes into the backyard. So it's in between two houses. And this house here actually is the house I grew up in. And then we got a guy running towards the house I grew up in. And we got another guy running towards the driveway of the house I grew up in. So this one there, and it's dark. The reason it's dark, it's a dark picture. But the reason it's dark is because it's dark outside, and that's when we played with the street lights. When we didn't have to be home. Because as soon as the street lights come on, they used to say, hey, you better be in this house when the street lights come on. But sometimes in the summer, they'll let us chill outside a little longer. So, yeah, this is called Hide and Go Seek. And that one's going for 5,000. That's the original. Then over here, we got 24 by 24 original mint julep. Mint julep is a derby drink here in Louisville that's pretty popular, using Woodford. But that's a finger painting also. Everything that I showed you up here, well, in this room, is a finger painting. So this one's going for $650. This finger painting down here is American Pharoah, which is a Derby winner. I wanted to concentrate, study more on its closer look of its face. You got that eyeball popping. And that one's also going for $650, finger painted. Let us move on. We're about halfway there, y'all. Now we're going down to the basement. Let's see. Oh. All right. So we're going down to the basement. First picture that you see, it's not one that I did. It's my daughter did this picture. She's a photographer. And I think this picture is so awesome. And just that butterfly right there, it really pops. It's priceless. She says she'll sell it for $1 million, though, she thinks. And over here, so I call this picture Uncle Johnny. So my uncle, he used to fix cars, and he used to come over to our house and he'll fix, put brakes and, you know, do whatever he needed to do to our cars to keep them up. But this is my dad. He would be sitting on the back porch, smoking a cigarette or whatever, doing what he do, while he'll have some music playing, this little radio. This right here is a jack. The old jacks they used to use to jack up the cars. And what else we got here? We got, those are the brake shoes. Those are the brake shoes that he's putting on. And that's Uncle Johnny, of course. And then this is me. He's asking me for a tool out the toolbox, and it was about a 40% chance that I knew what the tool was. Luckily, I knew what a wrench was. Huh? So, yeah, this one was called Uncle Johnny, and this is a 4 foot by 5 foot piece. 4 foot by 5 foot piece, and that's going for 5,000. Then the next picture I have is the new Jay-Z. This is a 3 foot by 4 foot painting. This is one of the first ones that I tried to do with the Omoko Bofo style that I was talking about to you all upstairs, on how he concentrated on the skin with his finger strokes through it. So the skin is oil paint. Eyeballs I did in acrylic paint. The lips I did in acrylic paint. And then everything else I did in the background with acrylic paint. The hair was oil and the skin is oil. And if you can see the texture that it gives off on the skin. But that piece there is going for $3,500. All right, let's go around the corner here. Y'all know who that is? It's old Jack. It's Jack Harlow, y'all. Jack Harlow. He's one of the Louisville legends now. Louisville legend. So I didn't do this in that skin form with the oil. I did this regular, so it's pretty smooth, but still has the fingerprint strokes that I put on it. You can still feel the texture on it, but it's nothing like the oil paint that I used when I did Jay-Z on the other side. But I like to throw the splatter the paint on here with the different colors to give it some electricity also. I think that really brings it out. Oh, so he's on a 3 by 4 foot canvas, and he's going for $3,000. Next piece. Who's that? Whoopi. Not Whoopi, but Celie. And that's Suge. So we got Celie and Suge. Yo, this is if you're familiar with the color purple, that's what that came off of. Celie and Suge. And that's on a 4 foot by 5 foot canvas. And it's actually not the colors of them. I played with the colors, so I used orange and purple, some red, some pink, and yellow. So those are the only colors I used. I didn't use the natural colors, but I played with the colors until it formed the color that I wanted. I feel it came out good. I feel it came out pretty good. Oh, and that's if I didn't say, it's a 4 foot by 5 foot, and that one's going for $5,000 also. Then over here, another painting that I played with the colors on is the Kobe. My Kobe, and this is a 4 foot by 5 foot also. Threw my splatters on there. And just and you still have the original textures. Nothing like the oil paint, but you still have the original textures throughout. And this one's going for $4,000. And then my next picture painting that's Frazier, and he's getting hit by Ali. I've done a lot of Ali paintings just because I'm in Louisville and Ali's the man. Ali's the man. So it's a 4 foot by 5 foot also. and this one's going for 5,000. This one's going for 5,000. I wanted to put that red glove in there just cause it just gave it a little pop because everything else is black and white. All right, so that was that. And go around the corner here, and we have Lamar Jackson when he got the Heisman. So this is the Heisman Trophy. It's when he came out of Louisville, y'all. U of L. This is the Amoko Bofo style that that I wanted to try to use on him. So the skin, again, has that strong texture in oil. The lips and teeth are acrylic. The eyes are acrylic. And everything else is acrylic. Just the skin. Just the skin has that textures. And this is as you can see me close to it, I'm 6'3". This is a 4 foot by 5 foot. And I'll let that go for 5,000. Then over here, we got the greatest. We got the GOAT. We got the GOAT again. You see the excitement in his eyes and his face. Can you see how strong his face is? So I did that also in oil. Not just his face, but his body too is in oil. So you'll see that if you were here, of course, the texture is a lot stronger in person than it is on this camera. So his skin is in the oil, and his hair is even in oil. Inside his mouth is acrylic. Background is acrylic. His glove is acrylic. His shorts is acrylic. And that's a 4 foot by 5 foot also of Ali. It's an iconic pose, y'all. So it's going for 5,000. Here go another Ali. This is the Intense Ali. This is a 30 by 40, and this is finger painted in acrylic. And I'm played with the colors. And that goes for 1,000. Come over here to the other side. And we're back on the color purple again. We got Sealy. And that's when, if y'all remember the scene, it's when Mr. was trying to cook and he was about to blow the kitchen up. She was outside on the in the rocking chair. But this is a 3 foot by 4 foot, and that's going for 3,000. And then we got Bob. Y'all know Bob, don't you? Oh, Bob Marley. I threw the splatters in here because he's just an exciting guy, you know. And his colors in the background. Fade them in, finger painted. That one's going, that's a 3 foot by 4 foot. And that one's going for 3,000 also. A lot of people like that Bob. Over here, Marvin Gaye. Finger painted that one live, y'all. I finger painted that one live. This was 3 foot. This is a 3 foot by 4 foot also. I'll give you that one for 2,000. And over here is another memory painting for those that live in Louisville and know the West End well. This is Broadway Roller Ring, which is no longer around. It's no longer around. They tore it down, but this is just things that I remember back when I was young, coming up, seeing people skating. They would
do the trio skating, probably even 4 to 5 to 6 people, and you just be twisting around the whole skating ring as you're skating around. Um, and then we have, somebody just dancing, skating with the hand in the air. Somebody getting down real low. Can you see that? With his hand in the air, skating. People be doing tricks and stuff. And then you got couples skating. And you got this buddy, he just solo doing his thing. And then back in the background, that's where the DJ was, back in the back. So back there, it's darker than it is here. So that's one thing I was working on, just like the Hide and Go Seek, how I worked on the night and the light. Same thing here, but it's more light in this one than it was in the other one. But in the background, it was like where the rug was, where you had to kind of walk skate back there. You got somebody trying to putting on the kids skate. You have somebody putting something in the locker. So it's back where the locker was, and there's a bench where people are sitting, putting their skates on and stuff. And that's the rail. People just hanging out. So that's Broadway roller rink. And that one's going for $5,500. And that's a 4 foot by 5 foot. All right. We almost there, y'all. Hang with me. We almost finished. So, smaller pictures. So, this is a pencil drawing I did of Dr. J. That one's going for $150. Frame. This one here is Church Home. That's what it looked like in the 80s when I was growing up. That's a memory picture. And that one's going for $250. That's watercolor, y'all. This is another watercolor. This one's called Gober's Barber Shop. Gober is a guy that cut my dad's hair, and he used to cut my hair. And he's probably cutting hair before my dad. So Gober was around for a long time cutting hair. He used to always smoke on that pipe. He'll smoke on that pipe. He'll have a couple of older gentlemen in there with him. Somebody's always eating a little box, something that they catfish probably or something like that they in some greens that they done picked up and bringing it in. I don't know why I remember what do you call that? Simon Crocat. That's what I want to say it is. Simon Crocat. That's probably what it is. But that one's going for $250. And they're 9x12 inch pictures, watercolors, and this is another one. This is called The Paddle. I used to go to West End Catholic school when I was young in elementary school, and if you forget anything, you gonna get the paddle. If you was late with anything, you gonna get the paddle. You just gonna get the paddle to see what the paddle felt like. So I'm letting that one go for $250. That's just another memory that I had. And this is a smaller version, just that couple skating over at Broadway roller ring that I got back there in the corner. And that's going for $250. Last one I have is Sparkle of Hope. Sparkle of Hope. So it almost is abstract because you don't see nothing but all them gold splatters, really. And then you see her. So this is her face. It's her nose pointing down. That's her eye. Everything's looking down. This is her hand. The palm of her hand is on her face, looking down. This is a shoulder. All right, and all this black going around is her hair. So she's just depressed. She's down. she's down and she's just thinking, and she just needs a sparkle of hope. She just needs a sparkle of hope. That's a 30 by 40 piece, and it's going for 850. 850. So y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed the virtual art show, and I can't wait to do another one. I had to get some new. Well, I do have more work. I just don't have more room to put the work. but we'll do this again, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Y'all have a great one.